sunny day. A good day for racing at Seekonk Speedway. We got a good night time.
Of sending a lucky Seekonk Speedway driver and many throughout New England to the Buck Baker Racing School down in Rockingham, North Carolina, for 4 divisions, the Pro Stocks, the Sportsman Division, the Street Stocks, and the Seekonk Sports Trucks, all being given away tonight. Also on hand, Teresa and OCB from the Old Country Buffet, located just up the street on Route 6 in Seekonk. They've got free children's tickets to give away all night long, so be sure to catch the Bumblebee walking around Seekonk Speedway. Down on the main straightaway in front of the starter stand, you can see Erica Abedishi and Connie Medeiros getting their congratulations. They are this Saturday night's recipients of the Pace Car Ride giveaway. Still got a couple of weeks left. If you want to get your youngster 12 or younger involved in this program, be sure to stop down at the main base of the main tower of the program booth and put your child's name in. Child must be 12 or under. So lots to see and a lot to do around this 1/3 mile oval. The program booth is slow anthem.
Can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight? Broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous night, o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streamed, and the rocket red flares of Mount bursting in air gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave for the land of the free and the home of the brave?
We could just remain standing for just a moment, please. To have a moment of silence this past week, today. Mother Teresa was buried out in Calcutta, India. And also sending our prayers out to the Henshaw family, Todd and Linda Henshaw, as their daughter Catherine is going in for open heart surgery.
Island in the Laurie Swift owned, the Dick and Sons Auto, Family Collision Center, Simpson Racing, number 65, it's Ron Lauro. Starting 7th out of North Attleboro, Mass, in the Franz Automotive Service, Colonial Tire, Cornita sign, number 45, it's Lenny McQuaid. Outside of Lenny, out of Cranston, Rhode Island, in the Joe Robs Cater. Looking off the 4th corner, here they come, green flag is out, and we are underway. Clements gets a jump over Langlois as they head into turn 1 and 2. Corey and Adam still battling side by side, and looks like Fernandez has got a problem in that 26 as he drops just a couple of spots back. One lap complete, and Clements continues to set the place, but Langlois tries to take a bit underneath into one. It's a tight battle As off the second corner, they try to get 3 wide down the back straightaway. Ron Lauro in the number 65 trying to squeeze his way through as Langlois gets underneath the number 72 of Clemens, and it's a dead heat as they cross the line that time by. Murphy slides it in underneath Poirier. They both get together. A little bit of contact. McQuaid and Betancourt both getting on the binders, not trying to get into that one as they both get by, but Poirier and Murphy just get separated, but those 2 cars at the back of the pack, you can see the 13 of Murphy has a flat right front tire. That's going to bring out the first caution of tonight's activities. 6 qualifiers as they sit. Green is out, we're back underway, and Langlois gets about a half a car length jump, and 65 Aloro squeezes in underneath the 72 of Clements, takes over the second spot, puts his back bumper on the back of Langlois, lets him know he's there. Brian Adams drifts his way up, as does Rotundo, and Billy Beardwood in the number 28 trying to squeeze his way up into the top 6 as well. Top 3 cars, single file. 4th is the battle as Rotundo takes care of that. Oh, and Bobby Betancourt just missing the 28 is Beardwood, as Betancourt goes around off the second corner with a little bit of help. Keeps it going, but Beardwood unable to get that 28 rolling. Caution comes out for the second time in this first street stop. Okay, try this again. Green flag back out one more time. And this time Lauro gets the jump on the outside. Langlois on the inside trying to hold on. Brian Adams and the 72 of Clements battling for that 3rd and 4th spot. The 46 Rotundo sticking his nose underneath as well. Halfway but through this time by. 5 laps complete. 5 laps to go. Bobby Betancourt, who sits right there in 5th place in the points, still within striking distance, sitting 2 spots out with just a few laps remaining. Lauro is now your leader. The 12 of Langlois sits second. Adams third. The 46 of Rotundo. And the 26 of Fernandez, your top 5. Fernandez sits second in the points, just 4 points back of Stacy Moulton. 21 of Bobby Betancourt gets by the 72 of Clements, now sets his sights on the outside of the 45 of Lenny McQuaid. McQuaid sits 6th on the field, and that's the big battle. That's going to determine who goes in the feature or who goes in the Conti. 2 laps remaining. Lauro and Langlois way out front. Adams continues to hold on to 3rd. Fernandez and Rotundo right there behind with McQuaid and Betancourt all trying to get through up into a qualifying spot. White flag out one more time around. Lauro, Langlois, and the rest of the gang. Watch Betancourt and the 45 of Lenny McQuaid as though that's going to determine the last car in the feature event. Checkered flag is out, and Lauro looks like he's going to take down the win. Langlois in for 2nd. 3rd, it's going to be Fernandez. Ryan Adams 4th. Rotundo 5th, and it looked like McQuaid into one of the 2 consolation rounds. Street stock heat number 2 rolling out onto the track now, and Mike Teague is going to sit on the pole. Mike drives the Kogan Trucking, Lappin's Discount Auto Parts, Full and Waterproofing and Construction Company number 51 out of Easton, Massachusetts. Starting outside Mike out of Hanover, Mass, in the Precision Signs BNC Machine, MST Enterprises and Properties number 76, it's Richard Napier. Starting 3rd, and the only 4th Thunderbird in the... Looking for Green this time by. Green is out. And we're underway. As Mike Teague sets the pace, Napier sits in 2nd. Smith gets a little sideways off the 4th corner and slows up. A bunch of cars get by. Everybody able to make it by as he gets a little squirrely down the front stretch. That puts Simpson up into 3rd. Degas Barry 4th, the 5 of Furtado 5th, and the 05 rounding out the top 6 cars. Stacy Moulton and Keith Morrow, 2 of the top contenders for the point championship, sitting just outside of qualifying spots, sitting 8th and 9th on the field. Single file action throughout as Morrow tries to get a nose underneath the 16 of Moulton off of that second corner, but Moulton just got a little bit more motor than Keith does. He gets to the outside of the 6 of Furtado as he tries to work his way up into a qualifying spot, but Morrow able to come back on the inside as they run side by side for that 7th spot. Still 2 spots out of qualifying. This time by halfway, 5 down, 5 to go. T continues to set the pace with Napier second, Simpson third, Gigas Parry fourth, Eddie Quinn and Tom Furtado rounding out the top 6 qualifiers. Black flag, that time out for the 0-3 of Alan Correa. Keith Morrow has moved his way up into the 8th spot. 2 spots out of qualifying. He's got to get by the 6th of Jack Furtado and the 5 of Tom Furtado. Jack Furtado going around off the 4th corner. And it looks like Ed Yarrington letting Keith Morrow know he saw something he didn't like. 2 laps to go this time by. As T continues to set the pace, Napier, Simpson, Gigas Barry, the 0-5 of Plant in the 5. Tommy Furtado rounding out the top 6 qualifiers. Keith Morrow and Stacy Moulton battle for 7th with just 1 lap to go, and it looks like they're going to have to go through the consolation round along with Bobby Betancourt Jr. Checker flag out, and Teague takes down the win in the 2nd Street Stock Heat. Napier, 2nd, Simpson, Gigas Barry, Eddie Plant, and the 5 of Tommy Furtado rounding out the top 6 qualifiers. That's going to put Keith Morrow, Stacy Moulton, the 11 of Jerry Smith, the 0-6 of Don. Yes. 2 down, 1 remain for the street stocks, and 12 cars to take the green in this one as well. This is the way they're scheduled to go. On the pole out of Weymouth, Mass, in the Jeff's Removal and Recycling, Steve's Landscape and Tree Service, Salami Corporation 01 at Steve Randall, outside of Steve out of Holbrook. Corner, green flag is out, and we are underway with a 3rd street stock heat event. Side-by-side action, Randall and Shaw battling for that top spot. 3 wide deep in the field as Radcliffe drops a few spots. He's battling now with Rhoda and Rusty Bryant as they try to squeeze their way through. Up front, still side-by-side, Randall about a half a car length ahead. Shaw sits 2nd. Sutcliffe up to 3rd, now putting his nose underneath Shaw for that 2nd spot. 4th is Joe Farrow. 5th, Wainwright in the 116 of Sylvia round down the top 6. Rusty Bryant sits 7th, 1 spot out of qualifying for the main event. Sutcliffe now sits in the 2nd spot, sets his sights on the leader as they go down the back straightaway for that double file for the lead as he gets underneath Randall. Double file for 3rd, Joe Farrow in 85. Battling Rusty Bryant has moved his way up into the 5th spot. Sutcliffe now out front with the 59 of Farrow 2nd, the 85 of Shaw 3rd, battle for 4th as Randall tries to hold on the outside for Rusty Bryant. Just edges him out over the line for that 4th spot, putting the 116 of Jim Sylvia back in the 6th spot. Bryant now looking to the high side as they come down for the halfway point. 5 complete, 5 to go. As Jeff Sutcliffe continues to set the pace, the 59 runs 2nd. That's Joe Farrow 3rd. The 85 of Barry Shaw, the 08 of Rusty Bryant 4th, but looking to the outside of Shaw as they battle for that 4th and 3rd spot. The 01 of Randall still sits in that 6th spot, but Pete Rhoda sits right on his back bumper with Radcliffe, Speedy Wainwright, the 15 of Brian Dale, and the 2 of Rio rounding out the field. Rusty Bryant working the high side of Barry Shaw as they head down the back straightaway. Rusty trying to get into that top spot as they battle for that 3rd spot. This time by 2 to go. 2 more laps in this street stock heat event. Sutcliffe, Farrow, Shaw, Bryant, Sylvia, and the 01 of Steve Randall all round out your top 6 qualifiers as they head down the back straightaway, pretty much single file with the exception of Rusty Bryant in the 08. White flag is out. 1 more time to go. Bryant with a last-ditch effort to take away that 3rd spot from Barry Shaw, but Barry's been able to hold it on since the beginning of the race. Checkered flag out off the fourth corner they come. Sutcliffe takes down the win. Second, Farrow with Shaw, Bryan, Sylvia, and Steve Randall rounding out the top 6 qualifiers. That's going to put Pete Road at the 84 of David Radcliffe, the 15 of Brian Dale, and the 2 of Doug Rio into the consolation round. So pretty much have to go through the consolation rounds. Well, here come the Seekonk Sports Trucks. We've got a surprise driver driving the number 28, substituting for Kenny Casper. He's in the second heat. We'll tell you about him in just a couple of minutes. But starting on the pole in this first Seekonk Sports Truck heat event, out of Tiverton, Rhode Island, driving the Sanford & Sons Consumer Auto Body VOC Gases number 94. It's Don Carrero outside of Don. Seekonk Sports Truck heat. And green is out. We are underway as Don Carrero jumps out to the early lead. But look at Mike Butts making it 3 wide, trying to get around Vinny Cipriano, but gets a little squirrely. Robin Sloan, who sits on tonight's cover for tonight's program, tries to weave her way through. She gets by the 21 of Brian Clark. Sets her sights on Joey LeMay as she sits sandwiched between the 63 of Mike Butts and now the 21 of Brian Clark. Stanley Sherman tries to make it 4 wide off that second corner. So it's Macedonio out front now. LeMay sits in the second spot. Brian Clark in the number 21 trying to squeeze his way up to third. Stanley Sherman battling with the 94 of Carrero for fourth, but he gets that as Robin Sloan slips her way up into the 5th spot. The 24 of Soulier sits into 6th. The 88 of Kevin Casper 7th. Carrero back to 8th as they come across the stripe one more time. Single file throughout the field. Jay Macedonio sets the pace. The 17 of Joey LeMay all over the back bumper, looking high, looking low, trying to get away by. Just hasn't found it yet. Looks low off that second corner, but Macedonia just enough there to shut the door. This time by, it's halfway. Macedonio slides a little bit high off that fourth corner. LeMay again takes a peek. Just doesn't have enough there as Macedonio continues to set the pace. Brian Clark sits third, the number 21. Stanley Sherman and Robin Sloan round out the top 5. This time LeMay gets a nose underneath Macedonia. Almost some contact off the fourth corner. LeMay now sets the pace with Macedonia dropping back to second on the outside. Brian Clark continues to hold on to third. Stanley Sherman all over his back bumper in that Dodge Dakota-powered number 20. Robin Sloan rounding out the top 5. Chevy, Ford, Dodge, and Ford, your top 5 trucks. As Joey LeMay, former Pro 4 modified champion, setting the pace. The 14 of Macedonio sits second. Third, a big battle as Stanley Sherman tries to set a nose underneath the 21 of Clark. Just doesn't have enough there. This time by, it's 2 to go. Clark drifts a little bit high off that first and second corner. Sherman gets a nose in underneath, and he's got a side-by-side battle into turn 3 for that third spot. White flag is out this time by. 1 roll out to go for LeMay, Macedonio, Clark, Sherman, and Robin Sloan, your top 5 trucks. Sherman taking over the third spot, dropping Clark back to 4th. Here comes Sloan trying to fill the hole. Checkered is out, and LeMay takes down the front spot. Second, Jay Macedonio. Third, the 20 of Stanley Sherman. The 21 of Brian Clark, and Robin Sloan rounding out the top 5. But before we get to that, Pete, how you doing tonight?
Kevin Boucher, very well, thank you. And hello to all our great fans here at Seekonk Speedway for what's turning out to be a beautiful night here, Saturday night, September 13th. As Zeke's Custom Auto presents the Perseverance Awards tonight to the Pro Stocks, the Sportsmen, the Seekonk Sport Trucks, as you see here, and of course the Street Stocks. Zeke's Custom Auto is the parts distributor for us here.
Radical Rick Martin. Radical Rick in the number 28, taking the green flag for the first time in a Seekonk Sports Truck. You can see the black and yellow and blue and red striped suit as he automatically goes 3 wide at the back of the field.
That's a great thing about these sport trucks is that a lot of drivers have come through the ranks sort of backwards. Pro stock drivers driving, of course, Bobby Pellin here in this truck division as well. So a lot of excitement for the fans here at Seekonk.
Up front, the 3 of Jeff Carter sets the pace. Macedonio sits second with a battle for third between Brightman and DeJesus. For that third spot, Billy Clark sits 4th, and Ethel Mato having some problems as she's trying to get that 12 handling to where it was before last Saturday night's hard hit off the second turn wall as she drifts back to the back of the pack.
Pat McCrone in that 65 down the back straight finds himself inside of a groove, looking to get down on the inside of the one. Thanks.
Macedonia now taking a bit underneath Jeff Carter on that number 3 as they battle side by side off the second corner. And Carter able to slam the door, but Macedonio trying to get it again off turn number 4. The dodge of the 27, that's Mike Brightman, the number 27, sits there in third trying to put that dodge into victory lane. Macedonio again makes it side by side. He's got enough room this time. He sets his nose right up to the door. Off the fourth corner they come. Halfway, 5 laps down, 5 laps to go, and Macedonio now trying to set the pace. As look at the 92, the Brian Souza making it 3 wide for that top spot.
That's Macedonio in the 2?
No, Kiefer. Did I say Macedonio?
Yeah.
Whoops. Kiefer, I'm sorry, that's Tom Kiefer in the fire truck. Number 2 is, the 3 gets loose off the fourth corner, able to hold on, and just a little bit of tapping to a couple of people, goes around off that second corner. The 26 of the Jesus almost getting involved. The 65 of McCrowan hard on the binders. Everybody's able to keep going, but up front, Ryan, the Tin Man, Souza takes over the top spot with Kiefer sitting second. Third, the 27 of Brightman, the 1 of Clark fourth, and Billy Flint rounding out the top 5.
Kiefer in that fire truck number 2. Taking a look at 2 laps to go as his distance gets greater between himself and that number 92 of Brian Souza. Souza roaring down the back straight. Kiefer trying to reel him in. 1 lap to go in this heat race for the trucks.
White flag is out. 1 lap remaining for Brian Souza, who started 9th on the field. Now sets the pace. He's got a commanding lead over Tom Kiefer. Mike Brightman, Billy Clark, and Billy Flint, your top 5. Off the fourth corner they come. Checkered flag is waving, and Brian Souza takes down the win. Second, it's going to be Tom Kiefer with Billy Clark just edging out the 27 of Mike Brightman for third. And Billy Flint rounding out the top 5 with Radical Rick Martin, Roscoe DeJesus, Ethel Mato, Pat McCrowan, and your pulse at passes to a regular Saturday night of racing here at Seekonk Speedway. Also down at the base of the tower, you can stop by Johnny Mercury's photo booth. He has all the photos of the stars and cars that compete each and every Saturday night, each and every Thursday night with the Thursday Night Motor Mayhem, and of course from our Labor Day and 4th of July 9-in-1 spectacular program. So be sure to stop down, see Johnny Mercury. He also has videos of all the racing action. Sportsman's rolling out for the first of 2 heat events. 12 laps the distance, 8 cars to qualify. This is the way they're scheduled to go. On the pole out of Slatersville, Rhode Island, driving this Steve Sanford-owned sponsor wanted number 28 at 5. It's Scotty Estrella. Mike Rivard unable to take the green. Green is out. We're underway.
Of course, Kevin, Scotty Estrella in that number 45 has the points lead by 42 points over Steve Ribby coming into tonight's racing, so keep your eye on Estrella.
Off the fourth corner they come, side-by-side battle between Bamford and the 6 of Kenny Coleman. Coleman just about a nose ahead as they head off across the line. Down the back straightaway they go. And this time Colvin gets a little bit more of an edge, but Bamford throws it hard into the corner trying to hold on, but Colvin able to set the pace that time by. Manchester continues to sit in third, a battle for fourth between Bill Goodrow in the 32 and the 62 of Russ Tatro.
And a lot of bobbing and weaving going on in the rear of the pack as everybody's hitting the binders, floating in and out. Lawton in that 70 got a little loose the last time around. They've straightened out as they fight for that front spot.
8 cars to qualify. That puts Glenn Lawton in the number 70, battling with the number 42 of Bible Players. Look at Glenn Young trying to go 3 wide around the 32 of Billy Goodrow as he gets that spot. Now sets his sights on 5th spot on the outside of the 0 of Robert Wright.
In the meantime, Colvin in that 6 car finds himself with a tremendous lead over the rest of the field. Approaching the halfway point in this heat race for the Sportsman division.
Colvin with an 8-car length lead over Billy Manchester, who battles the outside of the 88 of Kenny Bamford. 4th sits the 62, rounding out the top 5. Glenn Young, the Fireball, running the outside, the black and red, number 99. Wright sits there as he squeezes underneath Tatro. Tatro gets kicked up to the high groove, and that kicks Glenn Young back another spot as Barbell Claire able to work his way by. Scotty Estrella and Steve Ribby deep in the pack, still running at the back of the pack, trying to get through traffic.
And you see the gap between the final qualifying spot of the 21 of Woodrow and Lawton in that 70 car. Glenn Lawton desperately needs to get into that field in order to qualify in this heat.
So Billy Manchester cutting into the lead that Kenny Coleman has built. And he's closed it down to about 3 car lengths as they head down the back straightaway, but he's opened up his spot for about 15 car lengths between him and Kenny Bamford. 2 laps to go this time by Colvin, Manchester, Bamford, right, and the 62 at Tatro. Now the 71 sets his sights on a qualifying spot.
Here comes Lawton now behind Woodrow in that 21 with 1 lap to go. He's got a third of a mile to get inside the top 8 in order to qualify in this heat.
Gets his nose underneath the 99 of Glenn Young as Glenn Young gets caught up behind the 62 of Tatro as the 32 of Bill Goodrow goes around. Checkered flag is out and Colvin just edges out Manchester with Bamford 0 of right. And the 42 of Bobby Leclerc rounding out the top 5 with Lawton, the 21 of course.
And we are featuring the Formula 4s. Gates open at 6:30. The racing starts at 7:30. Now, here's the ticket. The ticket indeed. Adults are only $6. Children 12 and under only $2. A tremendous night of racing for the whole family right here at Seekonk Speedway as we present Thursday's Motor Mayhem through the month of September.
Round number 2 for the sportsmen's out on the track now with Swansea Masters Linwood Cohen setting the pace as they come down for the green flag. Driving the Precision Racing engines, Viveris Insurance, RNS Rental number 56. The 4th corner looking for the stripe, looking for the green, we're underway. Cowan gets a jump. And the 55 of Willis trying to hold on. Scotty Zernitzky squeezing his way up a couple of spots. And Spencer and Taylor both go around off that 2nd corner. It doesn't look like they're going to get going before the caution comes out, and no, they don't. Fourth corner, Ed Yerington waves the green flag, and we are back underway. Cowan gets the quick jump. Clark moves up to 2nd. Jeff Goodrow up to 3rd, and the number 31. As Dana Willis tries to hold on the outside. A bunch of cars in the back of the pack trying to work their way into a qualifying spot. Kenny Spencer among them last Saturday night's feature winner, the 8 of Ed Gannon the 3rd, who sits 3rd in points going into tonight's racing action. Continues to set the pace. The top 5 cars, single file. It's Cowan, Clark, Goodrow, Vanessa, and Dana Willis with the battle for 6th between Fournier and Serendinsky, and the battle for 8th between James Lawrence and the 57 of Dean Petty. That puts Gannon 1 spot out of qualifying along with D'Amelia, Taylor, and Spencer. Serendinsky gets a little crossed up in the back straightaway. That puts James Lawrence up into 7th. Serendinsky back to 8th. And Ed Gannon looking for a hole to make it into the main event. Halfway by, this time by, as Linwood Cowan continues to set the pace. But deep in the pack, Serendinsky sits 8th and on the bubble. Ed Gannon the 3rd trying to work his way underneath to work his way into a qualifying spot as they battle side by side off the 4th corner. Serendinsky just edging him that time by. James Lawrence hits 7th, Fournier 6th, 55 of Dana Willis rounds out the top 5 with Vanessa, Goodrow, Clark, and the 3rd 56 of Linwood Cowan at the front of the field. Side by side still for that 8th spot, and no, Ed Gannon the 3rd squeezes his way up into 8th, looks to the outside of the 81 of Lawrence as Angelo D'Amelia tries to stick his nose underneath Gannon, trying to work his way into a qualifying spot. That's the big battle for 8th. This time by, it's 2 to go. 2 more laps for Linwood Cowan. Robert Clark, the 31 of Jeff Goodrow, Paul Vanessa, and Dana Willis, your top 5 with Fournier, James Lawrence, and Gannon the 3rd rounding out the top 8. The 5 of D'Amelia sits one spot out, 9th on the field with just one more lap remaining. Down the back straightaway for the final time, Cowan, Clark, Goodrow, 1, 2, 3, with a big lead over the rest of the field. Checkered flag is up, and that's how they're going to finish. Cowan, Clark, Goodrow, Vaness, Willis, the 93 of Fournier, the 81 of Lawrence, and the 8.
Jenny McDermott from Burrville, number 15, Mike Hassel. Levesque Tree Series, Jack's Auto Salvage. Zeke's Custom Auto, Motion Motors and Engines by Nat. From Swansea, number 11, it's Vinny Anarumo. The Glock Appearance Awards night. Gamache on the gun, out of turn 4, a little bit loose, but he recovers. Down on the inside, Cavallaro is looking to find his way. Rodrigo now trying to hang on to that outside line. Cavallaro in the 87 not giving up easily as he tries to reel both of them in, but Rigo is running very, very well as he goes into turn 4 on the high side.
Gamache running about a half a groove up to protect that top spot. Rigo looking to the outside for that front spot, as well as they battle side by side off that 4th corner. Here they come, and Gamache able to edge them out. Hutchins has now worked his way to the outside of Cavallaro's. Oh, Cavallaro goes around off that 2nd corner. Everybody else able to make it by, but Cavallaro sits there all alone, and that's going to bring out the first caution of this event.
So the yellow flag flies for our first Pro Stock heat here at Seekonk.
Here they come, going to try it again. Gamache again gets a jump, but Rigo able to hold on the outside. Hutchins right there in 3rd, with Vinny Anarumo right there, and Mike Hassel rounding out the top 5 cars.
Hutchins looking high, looking low, trying to get around Gamache. Can't do it. Rigo running very hard down the outside. Now take a look at this triumvirate as they go down the back straight.
3 wide down the backstretch. Hutchins down low, Gamache in the middle. Rigo off the gas, settles in behind. Off the 4th corner they come, and Hutchins now sets the pace with Anarumo 2nd. And Gamache sliding a little bit on the outside is the 0-2 of Matt Dewey. Slips by, and Chad Chase working his way through as well.
Vinny Anarumo in the 11 car started 6th as he now finds himself in the chase for the lead with Matt Dewey right behind him in the 0-2.
Anarumo sits 2nd on the field, looking high off that 4th corner. Now settles it in back behind, a little bit sideways as he continues to hold on to the 2nd spot. Dewey sits 3rd. Chase looks to the outside of Dewey down the back straightaway. This time by halfway for Hutchins, Anarumo, Dewey, Chase, and Rigo.
Dave Hutchins continues to lead the field around 3, rolling on a 4 now. More than half of the laps falling away in this Pro Stock heat. Cavallaro in the 87 out to the pits.
Still single file, the top 6 cars. Top 5 cars battle for 6 now. Lenny Ellis looks to the outside of Danny Gamache as they head down the back straightaway. Behind them, Dion and Hassel do battle for that 8th spot. Lenny Ellis, the points leader going into tonight's racing action, and so far is yet to grace victory lane in 1997.
And Ellis fighting well against Gamache in that spot to get himself into the feature race through the heat. Rolling out of turn 4, the flags are up with 2 laps to go. 2 circuits around this track for Hutchins in the 96, Anarumo in the 11, Dewey in the 0-2. 1 more lap to go. Looking at the checkered flag now, here it comes. It's Hutchins in the 96, Anarumo, Dewey, the 46, right behind him of Chad Chase, Rigo in the...
It's Todd Henshaw. Starting 3rd out of Warwick, Rhode Island, driving the Palmer Springs Global Collision Center, number 98. In the Deborah Zahas owns number 98, it's Kenny Morissette outside of Ken out of... Scratch in the Hydro Stop Roofing, number 61. Out of Westport, it's Jeff Thompson. Thompson making his first debut of 1997, shaking the car down, getting ready for the 1998 season. Nordbeck out front, Henshaw sits second, with Scully right there in third. Martin trying to pick his way through traffic, sits out, rounding out the top 5 as he sits right behind the 12 of Bobby Pellin Jr. Looks at the high side, heading into 1 and 2. Down the back straightaway they go as Scully now looks at the outside of Henshaw. Scully last week, a great race, only to have it end about a half a straightaway short. Nordbeck, the benefactor of that, to finish second in last Saturday night's feature event. Morissette slows quickly off that second corner, a bunch of cars getting by. Up front, the big battle for second, Scully and Henshaw. Scully on the outside, the number 2. Behind him, Radical Rick Martin in the number 12 of Bobby Pellin Jr. battling all for that second, third, fourth, and fifth spot.
Rick Martin applies the pressure to Tom Scully. He has his 14 car dialed in and zeroed in on that number 2 of Scully. Henshaw on the 28 now tries to avoid the mayhem, gets a little loose, recovers though, gives Scully just a little bit more room, but not before Rick Martin gets around the outside to challenge him.
Martin up to third, now looking to the outside of Scully in the number 2 as they hit off the fourth corner. Oh, a little bit of contact, nothing much. Able to keep going. Martin gets a jump off that second corner as they battle side by side down the back straightaway. This time by 8 laps complete, 7 laps remain for Nordbeck, who continues to set the pace. But Radical Rick Martin is on a mission tonight with Scully back to third, Henshaw and Pellin rounding out the top 5.
Here comes Martin on that outside line, and then number 14 gets around the number 2 of Scully, and now challenges Nordbeck in the 47.
Martin to the outside, Nordbeck down on the bottom, side by side off the fourth corner. Martin gets a jump and about a half a car length at the stripe. As Martin takes over the lead, Nordbeck doesn't give up yet, but just doesn't have enough to stay up with last year's Pro Stock champion. Off the fourth corner they come, still battling side by side. Nordbeck putting up a gallant fight. Henshaw continues to sit in fourth spots with the 66 of McClure rounding out the top 5. Off the fourth corner they come, and that time dead heat across the line. Nordbeck able to stay with Radical Rick Martin on the bottom.
Nordbeck in that 47 doing a tremendous job of keeping that car in the groove. With only 2 laps to go, Martin again makes an attempt on the outside. About a half car length lead. Down the back straight he goes. Once he finds the apex of that turn, he may find the inside line, but no, it's not to be quite yet.
Well, he's got a full car length down on that time, but Nordbeck makes a last-ditch effort off the second corner as they run single file now. Martin up front, Nordbeck still sitting in second. Off the fourth corner they come, checkered flag is waving, and Martin just edging out Nordbeck for the top spot. Scully third, the 28 of Todd Henshaw fourth, with the 66 of Alan McClure rounding.
Number 38, it's Keith Morrow. On the inside of the second row from New Bedford in the number 8 car, it's Pete Rhoda. And in fourth position from Oak Bluffs, Massachusetts, number 72, Al Clements. Sponsored by... It's green flag racing for the street stocks here in the first And what a tremendous field indeed, as Bobby Benford in the 21 leads the pack into turn 4. Keith Morrow follows in line with 38. The number 8 of Pete Rhoda in third. Now, the number 2 car of Doug Rio gets around on turn 4 is in the infield. Trying to avoid a yellow flag, he gets his car restarted, but not before the caution comes out.
Okay, one more time, green flag out for the street stock consolation round. Betancourt, Morrow, your top 2 cars. Stacy Moulton sits in fourth with Pete Rhoda in the number 8 right there, as Morrow gets caught up on the high side, 3 wide into turn number 3, as Moulton gets by, Rhoda gets by, and Morrow gets kicked back to fourth, with just 8 cars making it out of this consolation round. Furtado and Murphy locking bumpers for just a little bit. That's the second time Murphy has locked horns as he goes around off that second corner. The one of Courier just making his way by. And stay on the green as Murphy's able to pull away under his own power.
So continuing to lead this street stock consolation is Bobby Betancourt in the 21, and now Old Yeller flies.
You can see a flat left rear tire in the number 13 of fourth. The 72 of Clements rounds out the top 5, and the 55 of Richard Blair trying to work his way to the front in this consolation round. Battle for second between Morrow and Moulton as they battle side by side. Betancourt out front, and we've got a car in the wall on the main straightaway off the 4th corner. It looks like it might be, nope, it's not the 6 of Stacy Flag. It's up, and we're back underway as Betancourt tries to hold off Moulton. Moulton trying to work the high side, gets loose off that second corner. That allows Stacy Moulton to get on underneath. This time by, it's halfway. 5 laps down, 5 to go. Down the back straightaway, Keith Morrow and the 16 is Stacy Moulton battling for that second spot. Rhoda sits 4th, 5th, 84 Radcliffe 6th, the 72 Val Clements with the 24 of Robert Rose 7th, and the 6 of Patata rounding out the top 8 qualifiers. Here they come out of the 4th corner, single file, your top 6 cars battle for 7th and 8th between Rose and Furtado. Off the 4th corner, hot and heavy, and Rose just beating Furtado, and Alan Carrera sits 1 spot out in 9th spot. Speedy Wainwright, the 89, trying to work his way past a couple of cars into a qualifying spot, but he only has 2 laps remaining, and he looks like he's all done as he pulls up on the back straightaway heading into the pit area. Alan Correa just got his wish as the 6 of Furtado got loose off the 4th corner, drops a bunch of spots. That puts Correa 8th on the field. White flag is out one more time. Betancourt, Morrow, Moulton, Radcliffe. Your top 4 cars with Clements, Rhoda, Rose, and Carrera, your top 8 cars. The 15 of Dale goes around off the 4th corner. Checkered flag is waving, and Betancourt takes down the win. Keith Morrow 2nd, Stacy Moulton 3rd. The 84 of Dave Radcliffe 4th with Al Clements, Pete Rhoda, Robbie Rose, and the 03 of
Agency, Independent Concrete Pumpkin, Air Gas, Spalding Brick, USA Uniforms, number 5, Angelo D'Amelia. On the inside of the 2nd row, Everett's Auto Parts. Sponsors, number 18, Steve Ribby. Bristol County Modular Construction, Brett Smith, Dodge, Manchester Racing Engines, Custom Cap, Rhino High Racing Bodies, Ron's Bicycle Shop, number 4, Steve Taylor. And quite a race it is for the top. 6 qualify. The 8 qualify out of the 10 cars here on the track for this Sportsman feature. And now they fall into place as they come down the front straight. Tatro in the 62, Ribby in the 18, D'Amelia in the number 5. Now here comes Petty in that 57, making his move along the outside, volleying back and forth with the 45 of Estrella.
Battle for that 4th spot, 8 cars to qualify. That puts Scott Surdinsky on the bubble, the 32 of Goodrow. That's Bill Goodrow in the number 32, and Scott Taylor in the number 4. 1 and 2 spots out. And the only car trying to run on the high side, the 57, Dean Petty, loses a spot. As Estrella's able to get by, he's battling with last Saturday night's feature winner, the number 3 of Kenny Spencer.
And remember, the 18 car of Ribby and the 45 car of Estrella are both fighting it out for the top spot in the points race. We get a spin on turn 4. The caution flag flies. That's Steve Taylor in the number 4 car, bringing out Old Yeller. Consolation race. Rolling out of turn 4, the green flag flies.
Green is out, we're back underway. Tatro and Ribby battling side by side. D'Amelia trying to stick his nose, make it 3 wide down the back straightaway. Just doesn't have enough the outside lane. Gets the run this time by halfway, 6 down, 6 to go. Ribby's out front, and Estrella will move his way up into 2nd.
Steve Ribby in that 18 car now has a fine lead over the rest of the field. Here comes Estrella looking for that second spot as he finds the inner line. Way high up close to the wall is the 57 car of Dean Petty.
Petty liking the high side this consolation round, but he still battles the 5 of Angelo D'Amelia. The 3 of Kenny Spencer sits 6th on the field. With Sumninsky and Taylor in the top 8. 1 car out is the number 32 of Goodrow.
And remember, 8 cars make it to the final race, the feature in this sportsman division. That number 32 car of Bill Goodrow sits on the bubble. Will he make it into the feature? With only 2 laps to go, the clock is ticking for him. The white flag flies. 1/3 of a mile to go for Ribby, Estrella, Tetro, D'Amelia. Kenny Spencer in the 3. And now Taylor gets loose in the 4 car. Here's the checkered flag. It's Ribby, Estrella, and Tetro. And the final spot taken.
Appearance awards for the 1997 season here at Seekonk Speedway. Are we ready, ladies and gentlemen?
I used to be like that.
Goes to the number 27, Dan Gamache.
Can you have your line up down here, please? I didn't know who was getting that. Really? You really? Good job, buddy. Smile. Shots will stay right there.
Congratulations, Dan. You've done a fine job of entertaining our fans here at Seekonk Speedway for this great racing season. Number 96 of Robert Clark.
I was just trying to find out from the girl on the way down here who's winning them.
Congratulations to Robert Clark and his crew for having the stick-to-itiveness to earn the Zeke's Custom Auto Perseverance Award for this racing season. Next in line, in the Smart Truck Division, for the 1997 Zeke's Custom Auto Perseverance Award, number 21, Brian Clark.
Down there, please. Thank you very much.
Congratulations from all of us here and all of your fans at Seekonk Speedway. Brian, you've done a tremendous job of earning this award.
I'm gonna try.
Next up in the Street Stock Division,
I kept looking on the bridge. I didn't see you on the bridge. I said, it's gotta be coming.
for the Streeters, the 1997 Zeke's Custom Auto Perseverance
They say
Award goes to the number 65 of Ron Alluro.
Get that? Excellent. Pretty good.
Again, ladies and gentlemen, please, a round of applause for all our drivers that have achieved the 1997 Zeke's Custom Auto Perseverance Award.
Great job, guys.
Memories Promotional Accessories number 2. The fire truck, it's Tom Kiefer out of Warwick, Rhode Island. Outside of him, out of North Dartmouth, Massachusetts, in the Bucks Toyota Quality Car Wash, JP and Sue Ponzart of ERA Realty, number 63, it's Mike Butts. Starting in the Avery Factory Wood Service Morningstar Bakery number 3, it's Jeff Carter with the Underwater Training Service number 44 of Chuck Ormsby out of Swansea, Mass, rounding out the field. Down the back straightaway, green flag is out, and Macedonia and Ethelmedo battling for that top spot. Roscoe de Jesus sits 3rd with the 17 of LeMay right there, 3 wide down the back straightaway. As the 12 of Ethelmedo gets caught on the high side, 3 wide, as she loses a couple of spots. All of a sudden, the 27 of Brightman goes around off the second corner. He tries to gather it back up, rolls it into the infield, and we go under caution. Yerrington waves a green flag, and we are underway. Tato gets the quick jump at the Jesus, works the high side. LeMay trying to squeeze through and make it 3 wide down the back straightaway as he tries to squeeze through Mato into Jesus. Heading into the third turn, settles it in behind Mato. Now looks again to the high side as the two keepers get by. De Jesus out front, Mato back to third as the 17 of Joey LeMay works his way into second, looks to the outside of De Jesus for that front spot. Here comes Robin Sloan on the outside, the number 4. We haven't heard much from her this year. She's had kind of a quiet season as she sits fourth in points.
I think Macedonia just got black flag.
Black flag out from the number 14, J. Macedonia, as he is leaking fluid on the speedway. Sometimes it's tough to see the first time, but he got it that time. Out front to Jesus and LeMay with a 6 truck length lead over Ethel Mato and the number 12 keeper. And Sloan round out the top 5 butts. Oh! Gets extremely sideways off that second corner, but able to hold on after losing a whole bunch of positions. Mato doing a great job holding on to third, holding off time keeper Brian Clark and Robin Sloan to round out the top 6. Billy Flint right there as well in 7th. Billy Clark in the number 1 and Brian Souza in the number 92, all battling for positions right there. Oh, De Jesus stops just about on the main straightaway, rolls that truck into the infield. Tough break for Roscoe De Jesus in the number 26, this time by it's halfway for Joey LeMay, who's got about a 10 truck length lead over the rest of the field.
And what a slugfest we've got going on toward the center of the pack. Just some incredible racing action going on right now.
Billy Flint working the high side of the number 2, Tom Kiefer, as he tries to work his way towards the front, as everybody plays a little bit of bumper tag all the way to the back as the 63 Butts trying to hold on as he does. And it looks like the 20 of Stanley Sherman has a problem as well, and he's going to park it in the infield as well. Flint working the outside of Ethel Mato in the number 12, trying to take over that second spot way out front. Joe LeMay with 5 laps to go. Last thing LeMay wants to see is a caution right now because he's got almost a full straightaway lead over Flint, Mato, Clark, and Kiefer.
Let's concentrate now on that fight for second place, and what a fight it is. Take a look at those trucks make their way around. Now that number 1 truck of Billy Clark, who started in 10th position, is fighting it out now for second.
Works his way up to third, Flint 4th, Brian Souza up to 4th. Flint sits in the second spot, a lot of room between him and Drew leader Joey LeMay. LeMay continuing to set the pace. About a full straightaway ahead this time by. The sticks go up. 2 more laps for the Woonsocket native. Joey LeMay, as we've got a caution, a couple of trucks getting together. Carter and the number 3 and the 16 of Vinny Cipriano getting together off the second corner. And I'll tell you one person who didn't want to see that. 17 laps complete off the 4th corner. Can LeMay hold on? He's got Flint and Clark right there. Green is out, and Flint giving him a run for the money on the outside. And don't count out Brian Souza or Ray Soulier.
So LeMay now with white knuckle driving as they approach the signal for 2 laps to go. 2 more circuits. Will LeMay take that number 17 to the checkered flag? We'll find out together.
Down the back straightaway they go. LeMay opens up a half a truck length lead over Clark and Flint. The white flag is out. 1 more time to go. Can LeMay win his first ever Seekonk Sports Truck feature event? Billy Clark sits second with the 13 of Flint faltering back to third. Ray Soulier right there. Down the back straightaway they go. Billy Clark looks to the high side. Here they come through 3 and 4. Checkered flag is waving, and LeMay holds on. Second place, Billy Clark just edging out Ray Soulier. Brian Souza, Billy Flint, and Brian Clark rounding out the top 6 trucks. But taking down the win, the first of 1997, driving the Archie Sherman and Mike Kuhn owned the Mike's Auto Repair, Mike's Motors of Mendon, Northeast Auto Recycling, Northeast Race Car Parts, Rick's Car Wash of Woonsocket, and the Sunrise Builders, number 17, former National Pro 4 Modified Champion. Ladies and gentlemen, give him a big round of applause for Joey LeMay. A great run. LeMay able to hold off Flint, Soulier, Billy Clark at the end of the race, as he came on very, very strong.
And a big boost for Joey LeMay. Coming into this evening's racing, standing 10th in the points with 478.
He'll be up in victory lane in just a few minutes. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, give him a big round of applause. The Executive Auto Painting, Rick Gente's Trucking, Rick's Car Wash, Mike's Auto Repair.
Sons, Williams Auto Parts, Lawton's Garage, Nat Racing Engines, number 70, it's Glenn Lawton. In the Bay State Sewage Disposal, BLG Enterprises, FireEye, Circle Performance. In the 93, it's Scott Cornier. On the inside of the 7th row, LeClaire Fabrication, Nantucket Gold Sun Care. Hollister. We are green. We've got green flag racing here. Bringing up the rear of the field, Raynham Auto Sales, Continental Electric, Skyline Roofing, number 3, it's Ken Spencer. Cisco's Performance, Izzy Trucking, Frank's Auto Talk, Coffee Express, Elwood Auto Series, number 22, Scott Sirindinsky. Dean Petty in the Bristol County Modular Homes Fleet Environment Grand Prix Corner Store number.
Oh, we've got a couple of cars together off the fourth corner with the 93 of Scott Cornier spinning into the infield, a bunch of debris, and it looks like the hood off the 42 of Bobby LeClaire's car down on the fourth corner. That's bringing out the first caution of this event.
And you see at the rear of the field, in the industrial, anticipating the green flag, we are racing.
This time Clark gets a little bit of a jump on the outside. The 88 of Bamford trying to hold on. Willis and Golden right there. Linwood Cowan rounding out the top 5 with Jeff Goodrow in the number 31. Moving up to 7th with Paul Van Ness right in front. Still side by side up front. And that time Clark just edged out Bamford.
Clark now with just a nose over Bamford in the 88, but not for long. Bamford takes advantage of the speed down on the back straight.
Last week we saw the 3 of Kenny Spencer win his first ever Sportsman Heat event, feature event, as a bunch of cars get together off the second corner, and Gannon just missing the wall off the fourth corner, bringing out another caution event.
Bamford and Clark. Now Clark fading back just a little bit, with Ken Colvin in the 6 car taking advantage of things, but not for long. Contact is made. Colvin drops back. Bamford once again finds himself challenged by the 96 of Clark.
Colvin's got that 4th Thunderbird number 6 flying after last week's accident. He's got that car put back together well. He's running great at 3rd spot. Clark and Bamford continue to battle for that top spot. Colvin watching for a hole to open up in the bottom as he tries to squeeze through. Jeff Goodrow right there in 4th. On the outside, Billy Manchester rounding out the top 5 in the PLC Gases, number 95. Clark getting a jump on Bamford on the outside, taking down the top spot. Jeff Goodrow staying right with him is, D'Amelio and the 57 of Petty get together off the 4th corner. And that brings us under another caution for this event.
Everybody getting around, just barely though, and prior to that, at the front of the field, Colvin in that number 6 car got into a little bump and grind.
Colvin and Goodrow for the top 4. Green is out, and we are underway.
Robert Clark in that 96 has a lot of challengers behind him, with Colvin in that 6 car and Bamford in the 88.
And the 57 of Dean Petty with a problem yellow caution quickly back out. As it looked like he had something go very wrong on that car. Green is out, we are back underway.
Colvin trying to drop down on the inside. Almost making it 3 wide out of turn 4.
Ran out of room. Oh, Cowan goes around off that second corner. A 420-degree turn. And yet another caution comes out. 360, actually no. Off the 4th corner, there it is. And we are back underway. Down the back straightaway they go. Colvin squeezes his way into second. Manchester up to third. Clark out front. Bamford sliding a bit on the high side is the 31 of Jeff Goodrow. Tries to squeeze through as well.
And keep your eye on Billy Manchester in that yellow 95 car because he's doing a tremendous job.
Oh, Bamford slow on the back straightaway. A big bunch of cars getting together. Nowhere to go. It looked like Kenny Bamford just had a big problem heading down the back straightaway with a bunch of cars. Nowhere to go. The 18 of Steve Ribby. Looks like the 0 of Rob Wright, Angelo D'Amelio in the 5, the 4 of Steve Taylor, the 55 of Dana Willis, the 3 of Kenny Spencer, the 8 of Ed Gannon, the 3rd, and the 81 of James Lawrence, all getting together down, waiting for an opportunity.
Colvin is on the zoom in that 6 car, but so is Manchester in the 95, and behind them is the 31 of Jeff Goodrow.
Top 4 cars under a blanket as they start to pull away from the 9 of Paul Van Ness. Colvin trying to hold on to the outside. Manchester making a bid underneath Clark into turn 3. And just bails out, no room. Clark gets extremely sideways, 3 wide, down the front straightaway as Colvin tries to get by. And it looks like Clark has got a flat tire, tough break. A flat left rear tire on the number 96. And one more time, the caution flies.
Some incredible racing, but I think, as you saw, that
they can call a red checker because the time limit has expired. Green is out. And Manchester jumps into the lead. Colvin trying to get back that second spot. Jeff Goodrow on the high side still holding on.
That's 2 laps, just halfway. No, 25 laps, right?
Manchester still holding on. Colvin and Goodrow battling for that second spot. Lawton up to 4th with the 42 of Bobby Leclerc rounding out the top 5.
Manchester in that 95, really white-knuckle driving right now. He's got some serious competition behind him. And Glenn Lawton in that number 70 is on the zoom.
The 6 and the 31 battling side by side. Looks like Goodrow's got a little bit of an advantage on the outside. There goes Leclerc looking to the outside of the 70 of Glenn Lawton as he tries to work his way to the front. Next time by, it's halfway, so that means the next caution, this race will be official. Halfway for the 95 of Billy Manchester, Jeff Goodrow, Kenny Colvin, the 70 of Glenn Lawton, and the 42 of Bobby Leclerc, and the 9 of Paul Van Ness battling as Van Ness takes over the 5th spot. Here comes Fournier at the 93 trying to get that spot as well.
Manchester and Goodrow now pulling away from the field. Colvin behind him, about 3 car lengths distance. Glenn Lawton right on the tail of Colvin in 4.
Single file racing pretty much throughout the field with the exception of Sereninsky and the 4 of Taylor and the 21 of Corey Boudreau. A little bit of spark from Corey's car. He's able to hold on, but a tough break as he looks like he's got a tire gone down. Caution is out. And Archie Stoddard Jerrington picks up the red and checkered flag as time happens. Manchester has taken down his 2nd win in 1997 in this time-shortened sportsman feature event.
Oh, he's just throwing that with the score is go with the last lap, right? Okay.
Yeah, time had expired before the green
So I
flag.
know that. I know why he's doing it. I wouldn't understand how they could tell who won, but then I realized it's the last lap. Okay.
So taking down win number 2 out of Westport, Massachusetts.
It's Billy Manchester in the number 95 car. Sponsored by Hutchins & Sons, Rainbow Reynolds, BLC Gases, Andrew Souza Mason Contractor, Norris H. Tripp, and Nexus Worldwide Web Services.
What is this? This is it 25 minutes or
What?
45 minutes this race?
Pro Stars?
No.
Sportsman's?
What was their time?
I have no idea.
It was a long time.
Well, the Sportsman feature is over. That can only mean one thing. The mighty Pro Stocks of Seekonk Speedway will be entering the ring in just a second. And we've been promising you a special announcement on the Pro Stocks concerning the D'Anthony Vendetti weekend. But before we get to that, one more time, ladies and gentlemen, congratulations to Billy Manchester, winner of tonight's Sportsman feature event. Well, we talked about the D97 out of Westport, Massachusetts, in the Hydro Stock Roofing Thompson Racing number 61. It's Jeff Thompson.
In the 16th position, Everett's Auto Parts, Fire Ride, Bridgewater Recycle, Circle Performance, number 1, Dick Houlihan.
Starting 17th on the field out of Borough. Green is ever underway. Nordbeck with a good jump over Gamache and the 28 of Henshaw as they hit into 1 and 2. Gamache trying to jump into line, but staying on the outside as he works the outside of Nordbeck as they head off the 4th corner. Nordbeck leads the first lap.
And Nordbeck has a very, very fast line right now on this track. Although Gamache has a great jumper on the outside of him, but take a look down on the inside of that second row. Hutchins in the 96 is poised to disadvantage. Slipping and sliding is the 39 of Elmer Wing in the rear of the field.
Hutchins has been fast the past few weeks, starting towards the front has helped them out too. Nordbeck continues to set the pace. Gamache and the 96 right there, all under a blanket with about a 2-car length lead over Henshaw and George Rigo, who run 4th and 5th. Gamache now with a run on the outside. Oh, dead heat across the line that time by. As Gamache trying to win his first ever Pro Stock race here at Seekonk Speedway, as is Nordbeck. Hutchins won one last year. Lenny Ellison, Radical Rick Martin, and Chad Chase, those are the 3 cars to keep an eye on, because those are the 3 cars in the points battle as they run all together deep in the pack. Up front though, Gamache just edging out Nordbeck that time by.
Rigo in that 64 goes high, almost blocking Anarumo in the 11 car. Look at Gamache in the 27, as he also went high in turn 4.
Gamache doing a great job holding on the outside. Hutchins sits right there patiently. How patient he can stay, I don't know. Rigo sits 4th, the 11th of Anarumo 5th. Dion working the high side of Henshaw as he's got Scully McGraw hot on his tail. Martin and Ellis deep in the pack, battling side by side with Matt Dewey, Dick Houlihan, and Chad Chase right there behind.
Yeah, keep an eye on that race, because that's interesting indeed. Chad Chase right behind Lenny Ellis.
The battle continues up front. Nordbeck and the 27 of Gamache as they still battle side by side. The 96 sits there in 3rd patiently waiting for a hole. Rigo, Anarumo, Dion now on the back bumper. Vinny as he looks at the high side off the 4th corner. Martin and Ellis still side by side, mid-pack as they battle. Those are the guys vying for the points championship. And Ellis just about a nose ahead, just getting by Rick Martin. Chad Chase trying to follow suit as they run just outside of the top 10. Nordbeck continues to set the pace up front. Gamache right there on the outside. Hutchins sits 3rd, Rigo, Anarumo, Dion, and now McClure. It's a 7-car battle up front for that top spot. Henshaw sits 8th, Belland, and now Lenny Ellis rounds out the top 10. Jason Martin sitting just out.
Beautiful racing action here for this Pro Stock division. Nordbeck and Gamache volleying back and forth for that top spot. Hutchins waiting for any kind of error, any kind of mistake to be made.
You've got to wonder if Nordbeck is giving it all he can, because he's working Gamache on the high side, trying to stay in there so nobody else can get by. He's got the 96 behind him, not giving him any room to get by. As we've got the 28 spinning through the infield as but he is out of racing harm's way, trying to get that 28 refired. We'll see if we get a caution this time by. And we stay under green as Nordbeck now all alone out front. Gamache continues to work the high side though, trying back again as they head down the back straightaway.
Henshaw in that 28 trying to get it refired and back onto the track again.
Oh! Hutchins goes around off the front straightaway, trying to keep that 96 priority. You can see him trying to put it in gear, but not before we go under caution. So that brings out the first question of this Pro Stock feature event for the 96 of Hutchins. And likes what he sees. We're underway, and Nordbeck again gets a little bit of a jump with Gamache, able to hang with him about a half a car length back.
Rigo, look at the move he's making down on the inside.
Rewide down the back straightaway. Rigo down underneath Nordbeck, and Morissette goes around on the back straightaway. Caution is out.
What happened?
And we will go back to the last completed green flag lap, and I can bet you Nordbeck won't do that again.
Boy, oh boy, he opened up the door.
Dean, you top 5. Green is back out, and look at the jump Nordbeck gets that time. I'll bet you he's going to hug that corner real low, as Rigo right on the back bumper doesn't have what it takes to get underneath him that time, but settles in for third. Anarumo on the high side battling with Rigo, as Rigo takes a look underneath Nordbeck off the fourth corner, but Nordbeck able to hold on off of turn number 2. Rigo makes it 3 wide. Oh, just doesn't have enough room. Nordbeck able to slam the door.
And Wayne Dion in that 99 car is in a great spot too.
And we've got the one around on the back straightaway. Dick Houlihan, last Saturday night's feature winner. As he went around, that's going to bring out yet another caution in tonight's Pro Stock main event. Here they come, Yarrington waiting, waving the green flag, and Gamache getting the jump this time. Nordbeck though, able to hold on. Rigo right there. Watch Rigo off the corner trying to squeeze down low. Nothing there as Gamache holds on to that tops on the high side. It looks like Thompson has got a problem with that 61. And oh, Rigo and Gamache both getting together off the fourth corner. One more time back under caution.
And an eye on the drivers for you. Gamache out of the car okay. Rigo seems to be okay. And that is exactly what we were talking about earlier, Kevin. Those front drivers running very, very hard. It could open up easily for Anarumo and Dion.
Not going across the line. Watch out, watch out.
What's up with that? Did you see what happened?
I didn't even see what happened.
Nordbeck must be feeling the pressure now. He's got Anarumo on the outside. Anarumo's running well, and we got a little trouble in the back of the field with that 39 car blowing some smoke.
A lot of smoke out of Elmer Wings, number 39, but up front, high and heavy racing. Nordbeck, Dion, Anarumo, McClure, all right there. The top 4 cars under a blanket. And Anarumo trying to get some momentum going on the outside. This time by it's halfway. Nordbeck setting the pace. One more lap, but Anarumo getting some momentum going on the outside. Dion waiting for a hole.
And now Dion gets down on the knees. Anarumo fades back just a touch.
Nordbeck, a little bit of an advantage. That allows Anarumo to drop back. Dion to get underneath Anarumo as they head into the third corner, still side by side for that second spot. Dion drifts high off the corner and looks to the outside.
And that's the line Dion likes. He's won races on that groove before. We'll see if he can do it again. With 2 features under his belt for this season.
A bunch of cars coming through the pack. Lenny Ellis, Chad Chase, Rick Martin still battling mid-pack. That's only going to tighten up the points race some more. But up front, side by side, Nordbeck and Dion continuing to set the pace. Off the fourth corner they come, and Dion looked like he edged him at the line. Nordbeck doing all he can to hold on to that top spot. Dion driving his heart out on the outside. Off the fourth corner they come, and a dead heat across the line.
Wow, it's incredible racing action for those front runners.
Dion now about a half a car length ahead as they head into turn 3, but Nordbeck charges back. Dion a little bit stronger off the corner. Nordbeck able to hold on for second. Helen up to third chase. And Ellis now up to top 5. With Anarumo, Dewey, McClure, and Martin at top 9. Hutchins round out the top 10.
And Wayne Dion takes the lead away from Nordbeck.
Nordbeck, though, trying again on the inside. Oh, Nordbeck and Dion get together. Kellen gets by. Nordbeck able to gather it back up for a second. As we go under caution one more time.
Wayne just tried to dip it too low.
Wayne. green flag is out and we are back underway.
Wow, look at the jump Pellin has.
And look at Lenny Ellis on the outside, up to the outside of Nordbeck, looking for the top groove as he looks to the outside of Bobby Pellin. Off of the fourth corner, here they come, and Ellis is your new leader. Ellis out front, looking for his first win since 1966, or somewhere around there. Pellin back to second, Nordbeck, Dewey, and Chase, your top five. Ellis with a 10-car length lead already.
Lenny Ellis is on the zoom, virtually untouchable. Bobby Pellin now in the second row with Dewey alongside him with probably a 10-car length lead for Ellis.
Way out front, the voice of the airways, Lenny Ellis, sets the pace. A great move on the restart. Dewey up to second, McClure up to third. Look at Chad Chase going to the outside. He's got to watch that right rear tire. It's digging into the fender. Nordbeck has a problem in the 47.
Quickly as you can see it, the lineup has changed dramatically. I mean dramatically, with Ellis sweeping the field. Dewey in the 02, McClure in the 66.
Is that what that is?
Lenny Ellis way out front, counting the laps. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Wishing this race was over right now. Dewey sits second, McClure, Chase, and now Martin rounds out the top five. This time by 5 more laps to go. Ellis gets a little loose off the fourth corner, but he's able to hold on to his half a straightaway lead over the rest of the field. Ellis continuing to set the pace. Dewey sits second. Inarumo gets extremely sideways off the second corner, but he's all set, keeps that car rolling. 4 more to go. Lenny Ellis counting them as they go by. Dewey closing in ever so slightly with McClure up to third. Chase and Radical Rick Martin the top 5. 3 to go this time by 3 more laps for Lenny Ellis looking for his first win in I don't know how many seasons. This time by, the sticks are up. 2 to go for Lenny Ellis, the voice of the airways.
Oh my God.
Dewey sits second. McClure, Chase, Martin, your top 5. Looking to clinch his first victory in a few seasons. Looking for his first ever championship. 1 lap away from his first win. Lenny Ellis continuing to set the pace. Dewey, McClure, Chase, and Martin, the top 5. Down the back straightaway for the final time. Into 3 out of 4. Here he comes. Checkered flag is waving. And Lenny Ellis takes down the win. Dewey in for second. McClure, Chase, Radical Rick Martin, your top 5. With the 12 of Pellin, the 96 of Hutchins, and the 47 of Ron Nordbeck rounding off the top 8. But taking down the win, his first win in about 9 seasons. And everybody's going to hear this on Wednesday night when we tune into WALE 990 on your AM dial, 6 to 7 p.m. Ladies and gentlemen, your Pro Stock winner for tonight, Radical Rick Martin, gives him a big thumbs up. Congratulations. Driving the BOC gases, Bob Sunoco, Manchester Racing Engines, Peckham's Rental Center, Mark's Parts, number 41, out of North Dartmouth, Massachusetts, the voice of the airways and your points leader, ladies and gentlemen, Lenny Ellis.
Wow. Big difference now. Where did Martin end up?
Yeah.
524 for Martin, 570 for Ellis. Hey, Bobby! Martin's got to get himself a win. Right?
Martin's got a good finish for that. Lenny Ellis saying hi to all his fans and friends down at turn number 4. And a very happy driver, the South Dartmouth driver. And the BOC gases, number 41, ladies and gentlemen, one more time. He's going to be one happy driver up in victory lane. Give him a big round of applause for Lenny Ellis, the voice of the airways. Ellis, who's second? Ellis.
Can you face Stevie?
Number 69, Brian Adams. In the Southco transmission lane for Brothers Excavating
Shore Jr. Green is out. We're underway. And a dead heat as they head into turn 1 and 2. Shore trying to look for his first ever win. He's running for Rookie of the Year honors in the street stocks. Look at Langlois making 3 low down the front back straightaway. Taking over the second spot. Randall gets caught up high. And Shore gets a little loose off that fourth corner, and that puts Langlois into the lead.
Doug Rito in that TriStar Auto Body Rodriguez Insurance. Kim Snails number 2. Can't seem to get that car underway.
Langlois out front, Shaw sits second, Teague, Randall, and Furtado, your top 5 cars. 3 of them rookies, 4 of them rookies. With Randall being the only veteran out in the top 5. Shaw gets caught up on the high side, Teague slips down underneath. Deep in the field, Loro gets caught up 4 wide down the back straightaway. Moulton and Morrow trying to work their way to the front along with Betancourt. The 08 of Bryant and the 26 of Fernandez, your top 5 in the street stock points.
Mike Teague in that 51's got some serious problems. His right front fender is literally draped over the tire.
Simpson now taking over the 5th spot from Furtado, as you can see some heavy damage to Teague and the black flag off the Teague that time by. He saw it, he's acknowledging it, he knows he's got a problem. Shaw back up to second, Randall third, Simpson and the 5 of Furtado, your top 5. Degas Barry sits there in 6th. All battling for position, Langlois way out front. All top 5 of the points in the street stock division. The top 5 guys all within 30 points, all right together as they work their way towards the front. Bryant, Betancourt, Morrow, Fernandez, and Moulton, your top 5, all battling outside the top 10. Langlois way out front. Second, Barry Shaw continues to hold on. Simpson and Randall sit 3rd and 4th. Battle for 5th between Degas Barry Jr. and the 5 of Furtado. Simpson now takes over the 3rd spot from Randall as Randall gets a little squirrely down the back straightaway. Oh, Shaw and the 7 of Simpson both getting together on the front straightaway heading into turn 1. That's going to bring out the first portion of this street stock feature event.
And this will bring the rest of the field up to closer competition to Mark Langlois in that 12.
Mark had a comfortable lead over the rest of the field. That's one thing. On the outside, Green is out, we're underway. And Jerry Degas Barry sits there in 4th. Tom Furtado sits there in 3rd. McQuaid right there rounding out the top 5. Langlois out front. Here comes Furtado on the inside, sliding it through underneath off Randall. Off that 4th corner, side by side, Degas Barry squeezes it in front of the 45 of Lenny McQuaid holding on to that 4th spot. Langlois continues to set the pace. The 5 of Furtado sits 2nd. 3rd, it's the 71 of Jerry Degas Barry, Randall, and Lenny McQuaid round out the top 5 cars.
Randall keeps fading back. Furtado has gotten by him. Degas Barry in the 71 has gotten by. This time through, halfway.
10 laps down, 10 laps to go in the street stock main event. Langlois, Furtado, Degas Barry, Randall, and the 45 of Lenny McQuaid, your top 5. Randall trying to hold on to that second group. Hasn't been able to so far. Here comes Rusty Bryant on the high side as he starts cutting through traffic.
Mark Langlois in that 12 though, still fighting tooth and nails. Furtado bears down on him. Degas Barry right behind him. 1, 2, 3. Randall in 4th.
Rusty Bryant in the 08 working the high side of Richard Napier in the 76, back in the 7th spot. As Langlois continues to set the pace, Furtado, Degas Barry, Randall, McQuaid, Sutcliffe, your top 6. Big battle for 7th between Napier and Rusty Bryant, your defending track champion, trying to catch the leaders in the points, as he's got Keith Morrow about 3 cars behind.
Langlois still doing a tremendous job holding that field back. He must really be feeling the pressure from Furtado in that red, white, and blue, number 5.
Bobby Betancourt Jr. in the 21, a big problem on that number 21, as he sits last on the field. Looks like he's got a real big handling problem. Could be a tire low on air pressure.
And coming down this time through will be 4 laps to go. 4 laps for your leader right there, Langlois in the 12.
Furtado all over the back bumper of Langlois as they come off the second corner looking for a hole through. Diggis Barry sits third, looks at the high side of Furtado. Randall and the 45 of McQueen round out the top 5. Randall drifts high off that front corner. Oh, a little bit of contact between him and McQueen, but nothing too major. Popsicle sticks are up this time by 2 to go. Who will it be? Will it be Mark Langlois or Tom Furtado taking their first ever street stock victory? Will it be Jerry Diggis Barry with win number 2 on the season? Into 3 and 4 they come. This time, off the 4th corner, white flag is waving for Mark Langlois in the number 12, Furtado. Diggis Barry, your top 3. Bumper to bumper to bumper, your top 3 cars down the back straightaway. Bettencourt goes a lap down. Here they come off the 4th corner and taking down the win. Mark Langlois out of Pawtucket, Rhode Island. Furtado in for second, Diggis Barry McQueen. And Steve Randall, the 45, in the 01, rounding out the top 5. But taking down the win, his first ever street stock feature victory. Driving the Langlois Racing Enterprises, Dunkin' Donuts, Dupuis Oil, Bobby's Banquet Hall, Dumont Brothers, Sal Popolo Racing Engines, number 12, the Dawn Marie Johnson-owned Camaro. Ladies and gentlemen, give him a big round of applause for Mark Langlois.
Pull that one out of his ass.
So as Mark Langlois takes his first victory lap here at Seekonk Speedway, we'd like to thank you all for joining us tonight. Remember to stop by Thursday for Motor Mayhem. And mark your calendars for September 27th, Pro Stock Points Championship crowning, and of course October 11th and 12th, the D. Anthony Vendetti Memorial Weekend of Racing. For the staff and management here at Seekonk Speedway, and for Kevin Boucher, I'm Pete Silva. Thank you and good night.
That's on the load.
And you can change something.
Where'd my pen go?